Hello everyone and welcome to today's stream. Today we will talking about the jury highlights from this year's Toronto Lifter Film Festival. I can see there are a few people already joining us. If you are in the chat room, do say hello, as Laurent has. So thank you for joining us, Laurent. It's been great to see you pop up on all of our YouTube streams, showing your support. Thank you again for that. If you are watching, do let us know which films you are enjoying, and we will do our best to shout them out during the stream. So, these last coming weeks, we've been focusing on the audience choices and the kind of films that are in the pole positions of the competition so far. Today is slightly different. Today we will be talking about some of the jury highlights. So I'm only mentioning 5 films here today, but there are lots that our jury are flagging up as ones to keep an eye on and to see which ones will migrate into the network round. So the 5 films that I am mentioning here today are not necessarily winners of the festival or making it through to the network round, but these have been highlighted as ones to go and check out by our jury. So I wanted to share those with you today, as the festival does close this coming Tuesday, the 31st of August. So if there are any of the films that I do mention here today, one from each of the programs, then you can head into Vimeo and watch these films and let us know your thoughts as well. Great, so tickets. Where can you get tickets? I'm just quickly going to show where to get tickets. So bear with me. Here we go. So this is the Liftoff website. If you head on to film festivals, then scroll down to Toronto, then you get to find out a little bit more about our festival and also tickets and programs. So you can click here and then you hit the homepage for the Toronto 2021 festival. And here you can see links to each of the programs. So we have 3 short film programs, and we also have 2 feature programs here. So just to recap which each of these programs means. So if you're taking part or you're interested in the Judges Select Shorts, these are the films that our judges have rated in the initial festival rounds as very, very good films. They're often daring and sometimes experimental, and they cover a wide range of different genres. So we've got some music videos in there, some short film, documentaries and animations as well. Then the trendsetter shorts are the ones to keep an eye on. These are filmmakers that are making waves in the industry and climbing up the ladder. And often they have quite unique flair and some very bold choices. So definitely check out these programs. Then we have our new voice shorts, which, as it says in its titles, are from emerging filmmakers. So either filmmakers that have just left university or are... Okay, so it looks like we are reconnected. I do apologise for the internet here. We are based at Pimer Studios, and it is such an old building that the Wi-Fi does fall in and out. But if you got all of that and it was absolutely fine, do ignore that faffing that may have come across on screen. But we are back. We are back. Okay. If the chat is back, please someone let me know if you missed everything to do with the tickets. But if you got it, great. Okay, so back into the stream, back in the game. All right, cool. So the first film I would like to highlight here is part of the Judges Select program. So this is Mamaville. It is a 20-minute short film from Turkey and Toronto, directed by Imrak Karasuru, and it is wonderful. So to just give you an insight to the film, in a small port town, 15-year-old Farah is spending the summer at her grandmother's beach house. The grandmother indulges in watching dating reality shows, while her granddaughter craves her sexual release. Pressure is palpable, desire doesn't still, and the summer winds blow strong through every opening. This film is fantastic. It is quite slow, so you do have to stick with it a little bit, but it allows you to absorb all of the information the film is giving you, and it's such a lovely insight into their world. The performances are very, very subtle, super realistic, and combined with the cinematography and the locations, this is just a very, very well executed film. So the director's bio, so Imrak Kirisu is an artist and also a filmmaker from Turkey. I hope that she created this poster because it is beautiful. She completed her MFA degree in Film, Video, New Media Department at the School of Art Institute in Chicago. So this is what some of our judges had to say. What a beautiful tale of life. 2 women, 2 generations reflecting their narrative. The details in the script and visualization of the story are exceptional. The devil is in the detail. All right, okay, and then another comment from one of the other jury member is, I thoroughly enjoyed this film. It felt very believable and the cinematography and narrative were well blended. The cinematography was creative enough to hold interest and feel artistic without distracting from the simple narrative. I like the use of imagery of figs and things like that to subtly infer the themes of emerging sexuality. It is pretty slow paced, but I found it engaging and visually interesting enough that I didn't mind. Fantastic. And it goes back to what I was saying about it just allows you to absorb the information. And this is a film that has stuck with me for a while. I often find myself thinking about this film, and I think it is because of the pace that it allowed you to get sucked into the storyline and re-enter your lives and catch you off guard, essentially. All right, so I'm just looking back at the chat here. It seems to be disabled for me. So Claire, if you are watching this, please answer any questions that may be coming through. All right, okay, so let's find out about the next film. So we're going to move on to the trendsetter shorts. So the film that we would like to highlight here is a film called A Lucid Dream. And honestly, this is a 10 out of 10. It is a 30-minute short film from China. So it's quite a long short film, which isn't often in the Lifter festivals, but when we get an exceptional film like this, we just have to screen it. So the logline, memory eats into his dreams. Memory eats into his dreams. With the disappearance of that batch of wood which comes from the southwest border, Li Gang, who is at the age of knowing destiny, realizes that the bizarre and morally reality is only built on the extension of memories. As for the kind of freedom he has been pursuing in that crazy age may never exist. After all he got in the end was all he gets in the end was only a siege of his mind and body. This film is incredible, not only on a narrative level, but on a technical level. My jaw dropped. This is a student film as well. It came from the Beijing Film Academy, and I just want to applaud the filmmakers for this film. Absolutely well done. Fantastic framing of all of the shots. So bold choices. Often the same angle is held for what would naturally feel too long, but this film pulls it off. The art direction and costumes are very fitting and effortlessly cool. I can't fault this film. Insane cinematography by Quinn Jingyi and Ling Jingyu. So spot on with the lighting throughout and just interesting angle uses. And as I said before, not afraid to hold that angle in the same position. And locations, just to reiterate, are absolutely stunning. So let's find out a little bit more about the filmmaker. Li Yu, who is the director, graduated with a master's in fiction film directing from Beijing Film Academy. And this film, A Lucid Dream, is her graduation work. She's now working as an independent filmmaker and living in Beijing. So this is what one of our judges had to say. It has a real original approach to storytelling with stunning cinematography and interesting use of framing to shape characterization. Loved its distinct visual style and how surreal the narrative developed. Highly recommend checking this film out. Just everything about it is stunning. So this is part of the Trendsetter Shorts. Go and check it out. Okay. So the next film is from the New Voices Shorts, and this film is called Gigi and the Giants. It's from America, it's 8 minutes long, and it is a music drama, all shot on one take. So this is directed written by and produced by Scott McKinney and Chadwick Herman, and also stars Chloe Babes, who is the lead. So their logline is a punk rock band auditions for musical label. And this film takes you on a journey. So as I mentioned, it is a one-take film. And we've been seeing a lot of one-take films coming through the liftoff circuit now for the last couple of years. But this year especially has picked up. And we've seen some that are okay, and we have some that have been executed so well. And this is one of them. It's high-paced and it's gripping from start to finish. And anything that can go wrong goes wrong, and your stress levels goes up just as much as the performance's stress levels do as well. So they've managed to captivate their audience perfectly. Just to mention here as well that this was shot on $600, and one of the comments that the jury mentioned was that amazing production value. I don't know how they've done it on $600. They must have pulled in a lot of favors to get that space, but it worked really well. So the judge said, good production value, one take shot approach gave the film more energy and felt fitting for the storyline. And another one said, a simple but effective comedy of conflict. 100% agree with what they're saying here. Very, very well done to this team. Go and check it out. It's part of the New Voice Shorts. Okay, so moving on. We are moving on to the features. And the first one I'd like to mention is part of the judges' select features, and it's The Imaginary State, directed by Alan Fisher, who is a Chilean filmmaker, and this film was shot in Sweden. If you've been following any of the Liftoff festivals over the last couple of months, you'll notice that this film was part of the New York Festival and actually picked up a nomination for a Liftoff Season Award. It's fantastic to see that it's also been picked up by the Toronto jury as a film to watch. So this is a nice opportunity for me to say, go and watch this incredible film that has also been nominated as part of the New York Liftoff Film Festival for Best Feature Live Action Narrative. So it's a second chance to watch it within the Liftoff network. So this film is inspired by true events. The film tells the story of a Chilean man who travels to Sweden searching for the answer to a crime that involves his family. As he does so, he becomes a terrorist himself. So this is written by Alan Fisher, who I've mentioned is a Chilean film director and screenwriter. The Imaginary State, this is his second feature film, and it was also co-written by Daniel Castro. One of our judges here has said that it is a thrilling, kinetic and challenging drama driven by strong cast. The performances are fantastic in this. And it allows you to be spellbound as you witness a seemingly ordinary man be whisked into an extraordinary yet dangerous situation. I feel you just need to breathe on this film. Go and check it out. It's part of the Judges Select features, and you can get your ticket on Vimeo. So the final film that I'd like to mention here, and I'm sad I can't see the chat room in case anyone is shouting out a film here. I do apologise about that going down. But the final film I would like to mention as part of the judges' highlights for the Toronto Liftoff Film Festival is our Trendsetter feature programme and a documentary called Every Child Matters. This is produced by Lindsay Cox, John Burton, Ryan Moran, Stephanie Scott and Rose Mara. This is a very hard-hitting documentary, but a story that needs to be told and to raise awareness. So Every Child Matters. Reconciliation Through Education is a powerful 90-minute special created by the National Centre for Truth and Reconciliation, produced in collaboration with Insight Productions and supported by the Canadian Heritage. So this film is in honour of residential school survivors and their families through storytelling and performance by youth, leaders, knowledge keepers and also elders from a diverse group of Indigenous nations, communities and cultures. One of our judges had to say this was a very eye-opening documentary that paints a tragic yet informative picture of the plight of the Indigenous people of Canada, featuring a wide breadth of interviews. Some of you have experienced these great injustices firsthand. The film will no doubt be instrumental in the ongoing push for awareness for these still very prevalent issues. 100% worth a watch. I was Googling this film and I came across an article that said that over 500,000 youth members had engaged with this material, this film, and that it's been raising awareness all across Canada. And as part of our Toronto Festival, we thought it was worth highlighting that as an opportunity for you to go and watch this documentary. As I mentioned, it is very hard-hitting and there are lots of interviews, so it does cover a lot of ground during the 90 minutes and just the history behind what has gone on with the Indigenous community. 100% worth checking out. So they are all of the films that we have mentioned here today, and thank you so much for joining us on this stream. We will be back tomorrow morning for the final audience choice roundup to find out which films are in the lead. That doesn't mean that those films will necessarily be migrating over to the network round, as there's still a few days and I assume lots of votes to come in. So if you are sitting watching this and you haven't cast your votes yet, please go and do so. The deadline is the 31st, midnight on Tuesday. So yes, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for those that managed to get a comment in before the chat went down my side. I hope you were able to continue the conversation. All right, cool. Thank you again, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.